Tigers, Ashenko, along with Stevens, Campbell, and Blakey in the middle for North. So underway at the MCG, and the big men lock arms in mid-air. How did he find a free in there?
Oh, amazing. It was just a good hard ruck contest, that one.
There's Ashenko alongside the centre circle. Floats one down towards half forward. Rock missed it. Maxfield is with him. They've linked arms. It spills forward. Opportunity for free. Another whistle. And the free kick is going to the Tigers this time. Maxfield up from half back. Goes out wide towards the wing. Bond meters in the clear. Player on down the ground at half forward, but he goes more directly, then holds up in the breeze. Too lately from behind, tried to spoil. They battle after it. Daffy's in there. Whistle and the ball up.
So bounce at half forward, right on the 50-metre line. The strong northwesterly wind. Most of the play in the reserves this afternoon was on the outer side. Rogers grabbed it. He had the ball. Bauer spins out. Free a chance. Murphy applies the shepherd. And the ball over the boundary line in the left forward pocket.
Well, it's been a little unfortunate there not to get the free kick. Rogers, he played it cleverly, tapped it out in front of him. He certainly didn't have possession when he was grabbed.
And that tells us it's a wintry day here in Melbourne. Blakey does the ruck work and punches it straight back over the boundary line, probably about 3 or 4 metres further away from goal. Tony free.
Leading already.
Battle already, yes. Boundary throw it again. Edwards wins that one. Adelson. Kick holds up into the breeze. Thumped down by Deere. Rock to Campbell. Little chip shot to half forward. Schwartz. Oh, beautiful tackle by Bond. The perfect tackle, you would argue, Bill.
Great tackle, wasn't it? He timed it perfectly also, Bond there. Schwartz, as soon as he gained possession, the tackle was there by Bond. We have a look at it again. Schwartz was in all sorts of trouble. As soon as he grabbed it, there it is, a perfect tackle. But Schwartz certainly didn't have any opportunity to get rid of it. So the correct decision there by the umpire.
A bounce, still at half forward. Ashenko, Broderick onto the left foot and wide towards the boundary line on the outer side. Stops just inside there. Adelson will get there first, and he takes it over for the throw-in on centre wing with 2 minutes gone in the term.
No score as yet. Richmond have an advantage, as you can see, in games played. Free out of the congestion down towards half forward. Takes an awkward bounce. Well controlled by King, but then he was in trouble. Rogers tries to get it away, intercepted by Mann. Daffy did nicely. Got the hand pass back to Rogers, who kicks it down towards half forward. Smith in front, though, marks the North. Plays on immediately. Drives it around the outer side. Rock in front of Bond. Bond back, dropped the mark. Maxfield left the ball behind. Rock hasn't got it. No free kick. Ashenko stood tall in the tackle. We're looking for Schwartz, sliding in his Bond, having a good season, and the ball's out of bounds. Boundary throw in, just the attacking side of right centre wing for North, who are warm favourites. Dia flicks it behind. Maxfield, who's been busy, gets it to free. And a very good mark is taken by Scholl. Having a fine year to Mann. Peels off from half back, goes towards half forward. Blakey's got the run of it. 3-on-2 situation, but Howard in the minority did brilliantly. Thumped it out towards the wing. This is Campbell close to the line, content to take it across.
So the ball on centre wing on the members stand side now. Campbell busy in the first few minutes and still no score. Muscle flexing exercise in the first few moments of this game. Deere. Knights. Confronted by 2 of them. Kicks to half forward in the swirling wind. Gale. Good attempt to mark. Mann. Laidley onto Scholl. Good clearing dash from defence. Kicks to half forward. Dropping back as McCurden has to beat 2. McAdam overruns the ball. McCurden thought about going off the ground. Ball spills free again. Broderick. A trip, was it? Tiger fans thought so. No free kick. They've swallowed the whistles now, the umpires. Crocker. Blakey from half forward. The half back will he get the first score of the game. It bounces just a little bit too far away from the outstretched arms of John Longmire, and a boundary throw in right in North Melbourne's right forward pocket. 3 metres from the behind post. North deep into attack. McCurden and Howard. Turn number 31's Rock. Good tackle by Maxfield. Again, the ball spills free. Knights over the top. Tape free. Not a good hand pass. Might bounce okay for him. Dragged out in the tackle. The tackling has been fierce so far. Schwartz back to Rock. From midfield, spears the pass into half-forward. Crocker. That might be 50. Callaway's got the mark and decides to play on quickly with a hand pass.
Broderick to Howard. Callaway. Campbell now towards half-forward. And the mark is held by Gale. Campbell runs on down the ground, but Gale is having the ball come all the way back to Callaway.
Well, strange decision, I feel, Dennis. Strange decision. The mark had been taken there at centre-half forward by Gale, so they're really penalising the Richmond side.
Callaway goes down towards half-forward with his kick man from behind, but Gale in front, so justice is done. It's with Gale now.
There's Gale playing centre-half forward, being picked up this week by Peter Mann.
Probing kick, well inside the 50. They go back to the square. Over the top, Murphy, almost the mark. Couldn't hang on. Rogers and Smith, it spills behind close to the line, and Scholl runs it across. A boundary throw-in. Edwards, who came on as an interchange player last week against the Magpies, and rucked pretty well. Over the top, it's flicked behind by Turner, taken by Laidley, held it a long time. This is Naish, back to goal, gets it away to Knights, 45 metres out, a very high kick. It floats across the goal face though. Back goes Smith, a little tentative because he was worried about the bounce, and Bowers pushed across the line.
I just wonder what Turner's doing down there. He must have followed Johnny Longmire down. Yeah, John Longmire now running back to his full forward position, but he's right down the ground.
Gale and Mann. Daffy, if it bounces kindly for him, confronted. Bond, who's been busy, good hand pass. Excellent vision that to Knights. He was surrounded by a sea of North Melbourne players. Murphy, Smith on his hammer, spilt the mark. McCarthy. And Campbell very close to the boundary line. Did well to keep it in. Boundary umpire having a close look, and in fact gives it out. Now free kick.
The free kick going back to Campbell. A couple of Richmond players tackling him incorrectly, says the umpire, so Campbell to take the free kick.
Still no score. We've been playing over 5 minutes. One of the rookies in the North Melbourne side has done well. Campbell from right half back. Deschenko the target. Deer did better. Former Gardner medalist. Not too many Gardner medalists have gone on to make a name for themselves in AFL senior ranks. Libber, of course, is another.
Roger Merritt, another.
The exceptions that prove the rule. I think Bernie McCarthy, good tackle. Mann sees the ball over the boundary line, and again a throw-in. 45 metres out, Richmond's left half-forward flank. Under 14 minutes left in the quarter. Defences of both sides on top today. Might be the forerunner of things to happen during the afternoon. Quick kick. Comes from Schwartz. Rock gives it back to him. Low trajectory kick. No one in particular. Space really. Ball over the boundary line. Callaway, Crocker. Crocker still got it. Just over. North fans unhappy with that, but once again a throw-in. And still no score.
A little bit unlucky here, Darren Crocker.
Just out. Half a ball was out and half in.
Well, just that last bounce.
So boundary throw-in again, centre wing. Howard at the back, did best. Quick kick away by Free, and that bounces just inside the line. As McCarthy gets himself up from the tangle. Still Richmond's right half-forward flank, but about 75 metres from goal.
And still no score. A real battle to start here at the MCG. Gale decisively to the back of the pack, but Schwartz is in the road, in trouble, stopped. Bad decision as it turned out. Allison surrounded by Tigers. Rogers has it socked away by Schwartz. Schenko over the ball. Quick hands, missed the target, taken by King. Schwartz got fingertips to it. Now an opportunity for Mann. Very high kick, floats down towards half forward. Over the top, McKernan. It runs free behind. Howard will be first back. Good effort by Callaway. Howard back towards the middle. In front, Gale could have almost been interfered with. It fell forward. Well gathered by Daffy. Daffy pulls it back. Intelligent kick intended for Murphy, who gathers on the bounce. Should have hand passed. Instead kicks across his body, but Edwards has taken the mark.
strong mark out in front. And kick around the body there, coming from the forward pocket player today for Richmond, and that's Justin Murphy. And Stuart Edwards playing only his second game for the Tigers in '94.
Didn't play any last year.
Kicks from 20 metres out. I think he's missed. Well, he has the distinction of kicking the first score, albeit a point.
With only 12 minutes left in the term too, so a bit of a drought. He's not too happy with the end result. Smith to kick in. Third in the best and fairest at North Melbourne last year. Scholl. His brother played in the twos earlier. Speaking of twos, 2 on 1. That's how to beat them both. Broderick. Excellent judgment. And, oh, gee, that could almost be 50 to Naish, is it? He's got the mark. And a free kick.
It won't be 50, Pete. And Chris Naish, who's been a very good player for the Tigers this year. He came on in one game and virtually turned the game around when Richmond was playing Fitzroy in a very tight game. He came on and absolutely dominated.
Marvellous kick by Broderick.
Distance won't be a problem. 40 metres out, pretty well directly in front. It curves away. Crowd pretty quiet because he's missed.
Goals will be very difficult to come by here this afternoon. The wind very swirly at the MCG.
Well, it's still one that he should have got. 2 behinds. The tally for the Tigers, and again Ross Smith to kick in. 11 3/4 minutes left in the first term.
Smith in short, man, and/or Stevens. It's Stevens who takes the mark. Plays on by hand. This is Fairley. It goes straight down the middle towards centre half forward. Going back, McKernan. Good grab, showed a lot of courage. Feeds it off to Allison. Can he get by? No, he couldn't. Knocked down by Howe. Picked up by Broderick. Back towards the middle. Missed by Ashenko. Taken by Schwartz. Kicks inside the 50. Now foot race. Maxfield in front. Campbell closing on him, and the ball is pushed across the line.
That was a good foot race, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a fair way to go. And Maxfield and Campbell striding out. Maxfield content really to get it out of bounds and wait for reinforcements. So a throw in, left half forward for North. Deer and Ashenko, one down by Deer. King did well, kept it in front. McAdam slung as he kicked. It goes towards the 50. McKernan tried to feed it back to support from Stevens. Didn't succeed. Howitt's in there. Kellaway too. And the whistle and a ball up about 60 metres out from North's goal, and they trail by 2 points. Behind so far to Edwards and Naish. The only scores in this game. There's the time remaining. So a war of attrition at the present time at the cricket ground.
Well, we see a goalless first quarter. Long time since that's happened. Rock.
No.
Free.
Shit.
Ooh. Another bounce to take place on centre wing.
Were you saying that should have been a free, Pete, or was it Tony Free you were calling in the play?
A boot seemed to go in there, Bernie. Attempted kick off the ground.
Rock was held a long time, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, that's the one I was referring to, Dennis.
Good bounce by the umpire. One by Deer. Fisted away. Rogers, a little flick on. Bauer, Laidley in pursuit. Oh, Bauer backs his judgment, but a fickle bounce brings him unstuck. Laidley farms it out the shoal with a good knock on. Murphy in pursuit. He's got him. Nearly a throw. Broderick a chance. Gives it back to Rogers. Did well to get a quick kick. It's all North Melbourne. They could raffle it. 4 or 5 of them are there. 6 or 7. McCarthy finally to Rock. Taken high by Deer. Broderick, you'll have to be quick. No mark taken. Bauer. Into the goal square. Gale couldn't take it. Man, well done. More than an adequate replacement for the injured Martin. Allison on centre wing. Shocking kick. Deer. Oh, went through his legs. The fickleness of football. Tackle by Howard was late. Ball up towards half forward flank for North Melbourne. And Kellaway quite content to see it over the boundary line in front of Darren Crockett for a throw in 60 metres out from the North Melbourne goal.
That win last week has undoubtedly given Richmond a lot of heart because they're attacking the ball with renewed zest this afternoon.
Ferocity.
Ferocity, zest. They've been terrific so far. Both sides, they're tackling and chasing magnificent.
Knights, well, they did well against Essendon for 3.5 quarters. Tape back to Knights. They do look a good side. The Tigers roaring at the moment. A couple of fickle bounces on the forward line and midfield not helping them. Campbell thought about the hand pass to Bond. And finally gives it back to Knights. to Daffy. Daffy from right half forward. He'll be looking for Murphy or Edwards. Up towards the zone. Over the head of the pack, and McCarthy the chance to clear for North Melbourne, which he does. A hand pass to Scholl.
Scholl now goes towards the outside wing. Clears Blakey. Bounces past McKernan. Blakey runs on. Brilliantly done by Free. Broderick couldn't control it. Taken by Campbell. Broderick slaps it back. Howard's hand pass out wide. This is Maxfield. Right on the wing. Feeds it back inside. Bauer gets it to Maxfield. Kicks inside the 50 now. Smith stayed on his feet. That was good enough. With Dash Nate. Was he tripped? Not according to the umpire. Opportunity for King. Nicely done. Good evasion at half-back. He comes away. Boots towards midfield. Eyes only for the football. That pack. It comes behind. Well done by Bond. Dragged down though. Schwass now on the wing. Tackled by Turner. Socket out of midair by Stevens. They shape up behind play. Meantime, McAdam's taken the mark. McAdam, left half forward. Made his debut against the Tigers last season, but it's 7 goals. Slides it across the face. Desperate defence by Kellaway. Crocker an opportunity. Kellaway came at him again. Blakey under pressure. The pressure is terrific at the present time. Dia, nicely done. Didn't have it, surely. And the umpire eventually has paid a free kick.
Tiger fans thinking he swallowed the whistle. Out to Free. Must get past Rock. And/or Crocker. Shocking kick. Gale tried to get it to Rogers. Kick was astray. Free off the ground. Hit Anderson, who goes forward. Is he over the football? Could have nearly been penalised. Free again. Lobs it on the Foster side at midfield. Naish taps it over the top. Only to see Stevens in the road. Gets it past Gale. Back to McCarthy. Scholl. Good hand pass. And North are going to get out of trouble again. Ball up to midfield. 2-on-1 in favour of the Roos. Make it 3-on-1. Finally, Maxfield kicks it off the ground, straight to the circle. McAdam to Daffy or Maxfield. They could have rattled it. The pressure certainly on both sides at the moment as they still strive for first goal. This is Tape. Good centering kick. Yes, Murphy's got it.
Well, that's better this week. Much better this week. Murphy was trying to take the big mark last week from behind. But still, he's only a young player playing his third game. Very impressive in his debut game against Essendon, where he kicked 5 goals and had the Brownlow medalist Gavin Wanganeen move from him. And he can kick the ball very well, this young player.
Justin Murphy. Again, distance shouldn't be a problem. It's pretty close to the man on the mark. It's close. Hit the post. So still neither side can score a goal. Murphy, Edwards and Chris Naish. Behind scorers for Richmond. We can't give you goal scorers, so they're just as good at the moment. 3 behinds. The Tigers. North Melbourne yet to score. Smith to kick in.
Favours the outer side. That's a telling kick too. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Bauer gets the hand pass away, taken by Deer. Kicks inside the 50. Here's Murphy. Well picked up. Just outside the 50 now. Free. Back to Murphy. Hard against the boundary line. Pulls it down towards full forward. Fairley's in front. Good defensive mark.
And while that was happening, Dennis, Mark Neild's on for the Tigers and Stuart Edwards is off.
Well, Neil got 4 goals against Collingwood on Monday. This game needs a goal kicker. Free off hands. 55 metres out. Long towards full forward. All North Melbourne back. And Fairley goes up. Aided by Laidley. Takes the mark. This is Smith coming away from the back pocket. Kicks it towards the outer side. A lot of jostling out there. McKernan. Good grab. We haven't had a goalless quarter this season, although Adelaide on their own have posted 3, but their opponents have always scored. Here's an opportunity for Campbell to Turner. Forward of half-back goes down towards his half-forward line, but we've got a whistle. And in the Shepherd, I think Campbell's going to get a free kick.
I thought it might have almost been downfield, but that's not the case. 5 minutes left in the term. You take the kick at right half-back flank. King standing the mark. From Port Melbourne. Campbell's kick. Not long. Man. Plenty of runners on offer. Scholl or Laidley. Goes to the former. Bond. The speedster. And that about. So quite remarkable. Just 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the term and still no goal. Been a good quarter of football, though, hasn't it? It's been tight, fierce tackling,
A lot of intensity from both sides. The tackling a feature of the game so far.
Scholl, Neal, Fairley, Knights. Man, a little push, takes the mark.
Yeah, just getting on top of Brendan Gale at the moment. Those last two very good, strong telling marks from Peter Mann.
Onto Smith, combining well, those two. Mickey Martin out of the side, so the North defence without him still working well. Knights again, busy, Bauer, long left footer. Not bad, but not good enough. So 4 behinds to the Tigers now. If there'd been 4 goals under these conditions, would have been a very useful lead.
They've been the better side, Peter, by far, I feel, so far, Richmond. Their midfield's been ferocious. They've given North Melbourne very few opportunities.
And you thought that the North midfield was going to be a telling factor in the game, Bernie. So it may augur well still for the Tigers. McKernan's kick to half forward. Schwass has to do the defensive work and punch it away. It'll be a throw-in right half forward for the Roos.
Just under 4 minutes till quarter time. Could be a quick old game today if we go goalless in the first term.
No overtime today for you.
Quite the contrary. Bashenko battles there with Dia, knocked forward. There's Blakey, close to the line. Bond carries it across. What do you think about the shortened quarters this year, Bernie?
Well, if you get normal scoring quarters, Dennis, it doesn't end up much shorter than 25 minutes plus time on. So we will certainly see a shorter quarter here. But I think in normal conditions, we're not seeing that much difference.
No. Tape held, ball up. Probably it works out, what, 5-6 minutes a game on average, if that. And that's about what they predicted. So bounce on the outer side. Stevens thumps it forward. And as Bernie said, Richmond looking far the better side at the moment. Full credit to John Nervy, who's turned this program around. They really have come on in the last month, the Tigers. Ball falls behind the pack. Rock, hurried kick, dropped in front down there by McKernan. Howard goes in with him, and a ball up about 40 metres from goal. This crowd will go berserk, I think, if someone kicks a goal in the next couple of minutes. They've waited a long time. Schwass, and it's smothered off the boot by Bond, who is tenacious in there. And another whistle. So a ball up just inside the 50. Inside 3 minutes now till quarter time.
Cold place to be, the bench this afternoon. As I said, just inside the 50. Tigers are going to run it out again. Roderick quickly to Deere. Gale went up one-handed, couldn't complete it. Man, who's done a terrific job in defence. Wobbles it up towards midfield. Turner backs his judgment against Longmire. The umpire's going to give a free kick to Richmond. It's going to Turner.
Kicking in danger.
Formerly with the Melbourne and Collingwood under-19s. Had a great game last week. Turner's kicked to half forward. The mark is there. So still the Tigers have a chance to get the first goal of the game. This is Nick Daffy. Maybe just a tad too far out. 4 behinds. Richmond so far won't get a score with that one, let alone a goal. Murphy, the flyer. Good defensive work by Smith. Naish. Daffy overruns it. Chance for Neal, who kicked 4 last week when he came on. Scholl, again safe in defence. Long left footer, kicks it up towards the centre wing position. A little bit of holding there. Crocker was held. Took the mark, might have almost got a free. Stevens. Good kick again. Penetrating up inside 50. McKernan, who lost his mouth guard in that marking contest. Next to Stewie Lowe, probably the biggest hands in the competition.
Yes, and he did have that middle finger of his right hand pinned after an accident playing against Footscray.
He came back and played. Very gutsy performance. Low trajectory kick. Might be North Melbourne's first score. It is a rush behind. Loud applause. They got one just before the siren. Just on a minute to go to end the first quarter, and we're still goalless, Dennis.
In keeping with the World Cup, this. Richmond 4, North Melbourne 1. Here's Turner. Straight down the middle. Good kick too. Crocker pushed in the back, I thought. He did the pushing, that is. Taken by King. hooks it across his body, touch ball play on. McKernan turned around, got into trouble, and dropping the ball, or holding the ball more correctly. Here's the decision from the umpire. We had him on about 5 counts there. Bauer's got the ball at centre-half back. Goes down towards half-forward. Man stays out of the contest. Judged it pretty well. Strong mark held by Blakey.
Yeah, good mark, wasn't it? The former Fitzroy player, Johnny Blakey. An extremely fit player. Has given North Melbourne and Fitzroy very good service.
Down towards half-forward with a kick. Longmire goes up. Had it knocked away there at the second attempt by Turner. Vashenko roving the pack, put his body in. Well played by Tate. The hand pass out quickly. It was taken though by Blakey. He scrambled to kick about 15 metres, and Schwass has taken the mark just forward of the centre circle. So we're down to about 8 seconds now. It needs a mark here. McAdam goes back, dropped it. So it could be a goalless term, and that's remarkable. It will be the first of the year as Broderick gets it across to Howard. And at quarter time, how about the scoreline? Richmond 4 behinds, North Melbourne 1 behind. A goalless first quarter. Dia and Ashenko. Dia favoured by the bounce. In fact, it went back behind him. Broderick got a fist to it. King charges at the ball. Taken by Free. Richmond looking very good. It comes down to half forward. Off hands. Here's an opportunity for Rogers. About 60 metres out. Now it gets back to about 52 metres out. Nash dropped it. Opportunity for Murphy. Back to goal. Feeds it wide. Taken by Bond. Bond goes from 30 and kicks a goal. You wouldn't read about it. Well, we go close to half an hour without one. And then suddenly, in the space of 30 seconds, we get one. Richmond lead by 9 points.
Yes, great play by the Tigers. They're certainly desperate around the middle of the ground. That one just bobbled off the boot of Rogers. Almost a mark from Nash. There's the youngster Murphy getting the hand pass away to Bond, who's been very impressive. Although his stats aren't all that good at the moment, his play on Schwass has been excellent.
So Bond finally getting the first goal of the match. Terrific play. Good hand pass came from Murphy. This is Knights. Knights kicks to half forward. Gale almost taken high in that marking contest. Through the legs of Laidley. McCarthy tried to tackle. Again, the snapshot for the Tigers by Campbell, but off target. And through for only 1 behind. So the Tigers very hard at the ball in the second quarter, as they were in the first. 1-5. And Ross Smith to again bring the ball back into play. Well, we've spoken at length about the wind. It's not a factor that affects that end more than the other. Allison marks the kick in from Smith. Daffy will stand the mark. Allison from left half back. McKernan, good mark. Schwass quickly plays on. Awkward kick off the boot. Maxfield in front was held by Rock. No free kick. That could have been one as well. Dia in the road. Gale gets a fickle bounce. It's left for Mann. Kicks from a standing start. And again, McKernan takes the mark. 5 marks he's taken again. Gives it away to Schwass. Turner punches from behind. Maxfield, a quick kick. It had to be quick. Crocker's there, but Richmond plays at the fall of the ball again. Campbell takes the hand pass. Long to half forward. Murphy again getting hands to it, but couldn't mark it. Thought about it and does give it to Bauer. Daffy. Excellent smother by Scholl. Knights to Bauer. Hate to be there. Barber, he'd go broke. Crocker. King it is, tried to barge his way through. Allison applies a tackle. Now it's Scholl's turn. Allison picks up the crumbs. Gets spilt. A quick hand pass. Laidley. And the ball is knocked out of bounds.
Great desperation by the Richmond players there, keeping that ball in the forward line. Just enormous pressure on the North Melbourne defenders. They couldn't create anything and couldn't clear the ball.
So boundary throw in. Blakey actually does the ruck work. So we're going to see a bounce. Just outside 50 on Richmond's left half forward flank.
Man opposed to Gale. Gale works his way in front, took the ball and gets a free kick.
Yeah, he positioned himself very well there, Dennis.
Little chip pass inside to 50. Neal. Good mark with the hands in front of the chest.
Yes, Mark Neal came on halfway through that first quarter to replace Edwards. Edwards may have been a little harshly done by when you think of it, where the goal was first quarter, so things weren't easy, certainly for the forwards.
Mark Neal, who put at 4 goals on Monday in about 30 minutes of football. Former Geelong player. Kicks. It's close. And behind. So the Tigers increase their lead. It's out to 11 points. North Melbourne looking less than convincing. There goes King on a lead towards the outer side. Smith puts it high towards Ashenko. Certainly the Tigers have got the numbers around the ball. Broderick got it across to support. Now it's with Knights. Knights puts it in. Bond was the man who gave him the ball. Fisted away down there well towards the boundary by Smith. Rogers can't control it. Back comes Rogers after Murphy lent some solid support. Diving in with desperation is Smith. He's over the ball. He's claimed, but Murphy had tied it up underneath.
Terrific effort by Smith, wasn't it?
Terrific all around there, Peter. Both sides showing enormous desperation. They're tackling, chasing everything. All the hard things today have been on display. And McAdam is off the ground for North Melbourne. Peter German on for his first run for the afternoon.
Bounce in the back pocket for North then. Man this time heads towards the boundary.
McAdam's form this year has been very scratchy after a great debut season 1993, where in 17 games he kicked 16 goals. He's only been able to kick 12 goals in 1994.
Gale directs it down. Intercepted there by Stevens. The hand pass untidy. Schwartz needs to go. Confronted well by Campbell. Slaps it across towards Knights. Knights to Free. Free from 45 metres out towards the square. In front, Neal. Fairly claims the mark.
Surely.
After some decision, the umpire has decided, or rather indecision, has decided to pay that mark.
Well, I thought there was a Richmond hand on the ball first.
I think there are a few hands on it, Bernie. Fairley with the kick. Deer punches from behind. Stevens had the run of it. Free. Grabbed by Lately. Snap it, gone. Hit the post.
Great tap on to Campbell there.
From Campbell.
There's a little tap on from Tony Free. Richmond.
Let's take a look at that mark again.
Well, let's see if Neal... Yes, Neal's hand
hand
was on it first, definitely. And claiming the mark there was Fairley. The umpire sucked in.
2 behinds to Wayne Campbell. 1-7 plays 1 behind. This is Stevens. From Ashenko. Broderick. Rock's got him. Ball spills free. Free kick.
What was that for? Well, Broderick certainly hand passed when he was tackled.
Rock with a kick. Longmire and Turner. Howard. Maxfield has got the speed and he'll need it to get clear. Swings onto his left
dangerous
foot. Bad kick. Allison takes the mark. Says thanks very much. McKernan and Howard.
Another
number 31, since out of bounds.
2 bad kicks there. The one from Maxfield, and that was a poor kick from Brett Allison. He's shaking his head. Oh, not too happy with that one.
Well, the wind obviously playing an effect, or having an effect. The ball doesn't get dropped under the boot properly. It's not going to carry. Oh, they all missed that. Maxfield. Stevens ducks the head. Maxfield a chance again. Takes it over in front of Crocker, the 2 number 27s. A little bit closer to goal this time. North Melbourne's left forward pocket. The Roos still goalless. We've got 15 minutes left into the second term. And he scored 1 behind in the first. Again, the 2 number 31s. Deer gets in front of them. Tries to barge through. Gets poleaxed. And it will be a bounce.
He would have felt that one. He came off last week and had his head stitched.
He was in the wars, that's right, last week.
He didn't train all week. He had his first run last night. Or the Friday night, sorry. Yes, last night.
Deer goes to the boundary line. Socket off the ground by Free. Campbell's got it. Oh, McKernan, has he played that mark? No, he didn't hold it. Crocker. Kick out of the pack. Longmire marks in front. Surely North Melbourne's first goal.
There's a hurry kick, and the forward getting his body in front there, John Longmire. And that's the position to be with those hurry kicks out of the pack.
He kicks. North first. So it took them more than 6 minutes of play in the second quarter, 1-7 to 1-1.
Yes, Johnny Longmire, his first goal for the afternoon. Almost a good mark there by McKernan. Doing a pretty good job at centre-half forward in the absence of Wayne Carey. The hurried kick and the chest mark to Johnny Longmire. 29 goals for the season for Longmire. The leading goal kicker at North Melbourne is Wayne Carey with 31.
So the Tigers lead it by 6 points. Generally, they've dominated this game. A lot more zest. Tony was talking about zest before. They've had it. And generally, North have been second to the ball, but that's a goal that might spark them. Up goes Dia, hooks it down towards half forward. Unkind bounce there for Laidley. Smacked wide by Scholl, taken by Rock. Gets it away to Blakey. Blakey comes down towards half forward with a kick, and the mark is held in front by McKernan. He is very strong overhead, this young man. It's about 52 metres from goal. His hair giving indication of the breeze. Very strong, a bitter breeze in Melbourne. Long towards full forward. Longmire almost. Daffy close to the line. It's jarred across. And the behind. Strong tackle by John Longmire. Turner barking the instructions. The margin back to 5 points now. And Turner virtually straight down the middle. Dashenko's favoured by the kick. Up he goes, virtually uncontested, takes the mark inside the centre square, pumps it back in. The kick pitches about, I suppose, 40 metres from goal. McKernan was up, taken by Knights, who did nicely. Free's hand pass not particularly good. Blakey's in the road, sends it back towards the pocket. It bounces. Schwartz tracking it down there. Clever hand pass. Sock it across by Campbell for a goal.
Right hand pass, wasn't it?
Yes, brilliant hand pass. Wayne Schwartz has been a magnificent player for North Melbourne, a former Morris medalist, of course, in the under-19 competition as it was then. Recruited from South Warrnambool. He was actually in Fitzroy's territory when he was recruited to North Melbourne, and here's Wayne Schwartz following the ball into the forward pocket, very close to that boundary line, kept it low, clever hand pass, just setting it up for Campbell.
Campbell got North Melbourne's second goal. They lead 2-2 to 1-7. The Tigers swing into attack. Rogers with the chance. Murphy applies a shepherd. Over the top. Chance now for Campbell. Goes goalwards. Lands it right in front of the square. Kick off the ground. Comes out towards Swass again. Bond overruns it. North Melbourne have lifted. McCarthy to Laidley. Laidley's kick to midfield. In fact, over midfield. Anderson rows it beautifully off the top of the pack. Superb pass. Finds Campbell.
Brilliant pass. That was a much better kick that time from Brett Allison. I feel happy North Melbourne supporters are a bit quiet in that first term. This boy certainly has added something to the North Melbourne forward line, especially with the ordinary form of Adrian McAdam this year.
So Campbell with one goal already. 10 career goals. He's now got 11 career goals. Warren Campbell. Two of those coming today. Scoreboard at the MCG, 3-2 to 1-7, North by 7 points.
Yes, the two Campbell goals coming within the space of 2 minutes. As North Melbourne steaming out of defence there through Laidley. He's been a terrific contributor for North Melbourne all year. Well rowed there by Brett Allison. And Maxfield deciding to try to read the play instead of staying with his opponent in Campbell, and he paid the penalty.
3 unanswered goals from North. And they've skipped away to lead by 7 points. Up goes Zashenko. This is Howard. Gets it wide to Free alongside the centre circle. Kicks inside the 50. Nash uses his body up the top. Murphy fisted away by Smith. Waiting in front. Rock. Howard got him. Opportunity for Neild on the 50. Sold Broderick into trouble. Down he went. McCarthy on his knees. Gets it across to Smith. Left the ball behind. Neild charged down brilliantly by Smith. Ricochets towards a more central situation. Stevens put his body in and did very well for North Melbourne. But Smith there getting back to smother the hand pass. Very, very important.
Been a great defender for North Melbourne over the years, and one of North Melbourne's most experienced. Playing in that back pocket, has had a very good 1994 season.
Man in front. Howard wins it down. Socket wide by Blakey, taken by King, pushed off the kick. It floats towards the boundary line. How will it bounce? Well, close to the boundary line. Brilliantly played there by Tate, who chips it in, and the mark is held by Howard. Tate kept his head.
Gale's been moved now to centre-half back, Howard to centre-half forward.
Howard goes from 53 metres right down towards the goal line. Murphy, terrific grab. Used his body superbly. And when you consider the quality of the opposition, Ross Smith was there. That's no mean effort.
Yeah, here's a replay of it. Justin Murphy, a very impressive performance so far for Richmond in his 3 games. And there's a mark, just using the body very nicely to keep Ross Smith out of the contest.
Well, his career's been a rollercoaster ride so far. 5 goals on debut a fortnight ago, and then beaten pointless by Gavin Krasiska last week. And the rollercoaster ride continues. Great mark, but he kicks it behind. Can't believe it.
No, he's brought around on a pretty severe angle in the end.
So the margin 6 points. Smith wasting no time after that reprieve, gets it to Laidley. Laidley comes away from half-back, goes towards the wing, directed. Howard went back with a lot of courage. Knocked forward, taken by McCarthy. Not a particularly good hand pass. They're going in very solidly. Socket off the ground by German towards half-forward.
Right on the 50, Rock looks for options. Schwass gives him a good one. Onto the big fellow, Ashenko. Campbell and Longmire are there. Campbell, can he make it 3? He does! Great snapshot! 4 unanswered goals from North.
And Campbell in everything in that forward line. North Melbourne's only kicked 4 goals. Campbell's kicked 3 of those. And that's in the space of 5 minutes. There's a long kick into the forward line. Ashenko, the lumbering Ashenko getting the ball into the forward line. Campbell staying down, doing the roving. And he is very good at ground level. Great goal sense. Can kick from a set shot or those hurried snaps as we saw on that occasion.
3 second quarter goals to Warren Campbell as North have booted to 4-2. Richmond 1-8. So the difference 2 goals. That'll be a free kick to Deere. He got one in the back of the neck. You don't agree, Bernie?
No, that was Dennis arming an Ari.
Sorry.
I thought it was a tough call.
Well, his hand was there, but really I think it could have been allowed to go on.
It was a bad bounce that caused it in the first place, wasn't it?
True enough. Deere kicks inside 50. Murphy, can he mark us? Yes, good grab.
Yeah, great grab out in front. Now that's something that young players tend to fall for, is coming from behind on occasions as he did last week. But Murphy getting to the front position, eyes on the ball. He had strong opposition there from Ross Smith. Great mark from the young fella.
You can beat Ross Smith through 4 quarters of football. You've done particularly well. Murphy's kicked 2 behind so far. Distance shouldn't be a problem from there. The wind could play tricks with the kick. Again gets close to the man on the mark, and it drifts away for 1 behind, I feel, yes. So 3 behinds to the youngster, Justin Murphy. Would have been handy. The Tigers tally to 1-8, and this may prove costly in the wash-up this afternoon. 1-9 now, 1-9 to 4-2.
Yeah, those 2 last misses from Murphy, very costly.
You called it right, Pete, too. Close to the man on the mark, cost him dearly there. As the kick goes towards the outer side, up goes Deere, it falls behind. This is Bond. Running it through half-forward. Bond has a second bounce, looks up now, pulls it down towards full forward. Laidley will need to go, he can't get there in time, and Nash takes a very good grab in front.
Great courageous mark there from Chris Nash. And Laidley's riding him into the ground after he took that mark. Chris Nash just getting up a little bit gingerly. Here's the mark, and pretty severe there, I thought.
Is that 50?
Well, I was just going to say that, Peter. There was no need to really drag him to the ground, as Laidley did. Or maybe Nash helped that a little bit by throwing himself forward.
You're a hard man.
Which way are you going, Dennis?
I just asked the question.
Yeah, probably 50, I would have thought.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Laidley, feisty customer, standing on the mark. And Chris Nash will kick from about 25 metres out. 18 goals for the season. His best hauls have been 3 bags of 3 against Footscray, Fitzroy and Geelong. The Tigers get their second. So
So Nash won and Bond won, the goal kickers for the Tigers. 2-9. They come to within 5 points.
Yes, Chris Nash, 19 goals now for the season. The leading goal kicker for Richmond on the ground this afternoon. Richmond's leading goal kicker, Matthew Richardson, playing in the reserves. He's kicked 25 for the season. He's a very courageous little player on that forward line, Chris Nash. Puts his body in all the time.
110 career goals now for Chris Nash. The Roos steam forward again. This is Barnett, formerly from Hawthorn. Played only one game there for the Hawks. And Turner takes the ball over the boundary line. That was in a Foster's Cup.
We don't count those in the overall scheme of things, do you, Pete? I suppose it is a senior game.
They do. So McKernan has taken 6 marks already this afternoon. Tries to flip it out the back. On the shoulder, says the umpire. The advantage is paid. It was to Richmond, Knights to Maxfield. That pair combines to get the ball to centre wing. 2-on-2 situation at a marking contest. Almost taken down there by Mann. The ball shuffled over the boundary line. And Scholl have asked to get up with Rogers. Next to the interchange gates. Great ferocity shown by both sides in this match. Deer and Ashenko. Scholl got one in the head for his trouble as he tapped it over the boundary line. 4-2 North Melbourne, Richmond 2-9. Both teams goalless in the first quarter.
And they're pretty even in the tackles, 12 tackles to 14. North Melbourne much better in this second quarter.
Deer and Howard pinned by Mann, and the bounce again on the Foster's emblem, which is not really on the centre wing today. Like the goals, it too has been moved. As John Northey ponders things in the coach's box. Good punch away by Howard, good as a kick. Laidley's there, Daffy's got him. North are going to get out of this. Oh, whoop-a-daisy. The kick from McCarthy, so he landed on his backside. Tate kicks it back. This is Smith after the mark was dropped by King.
Towards the outer side, Longmire's in front. Turner tracks him, smothers the kick. Well done. Spills to Campbell. Campbell gets it across to Maxfield, who goes over the top. Knights running down towards half forward. Matthew Knights boots inside the 50. High kick. Murphy's there again from behind. Smith gets it on the ground. Opportunity for Rogers to Murphy. Murphy 35 metres out, sprays it very wide. And it carries out of bounds on the full. Well, this young man is creating opportunities, certainly, but not taking advantage. Here's Fairley. North lead by 5 points. Fairley goes towards the outer side as Schenko comes at it. Deer behind him through their hands. Stevens behind, couldn't control it. Blakey goes to ground, pushed in the back, says the umpire.
Yeah, Capuano on for North Melbourne, playing across half forward.
Blakey, meantime at half back, goes high in the Capuano direction. From behind, he couldn't mark it. Taken by Bauer, met very solidly. It spills to Allison. Allison inside the 50. Turner and Longmire. Behind them, an opportunity for Campbell. Campbell and Kellaway close to the line. Out of bounds, it will be thrown in. Duncan Kellaway in the foreground, and behind him, Warren Campbell, who's booted 3 goals in this term. Certainly the major difference between the two teams. McKernan goes back, wins it down, but Tate's in the road. Hand passes back into the congestion. Off the ground, Broderick got it out. Bond can't control it. Close to the line, runs it across.
It's inside 50, and we're inside 5 minutes in the second quarter. North Melbourne leading 4-2 to 2-9. McKernan and Gale over the head of Free. Shepherd applied by Campbell. King pressures him. Free thinks he should have got a free, and it's out of bounds. Outside 50 now, about 60 metres from goal. McKernan once again to do battle with Gale. McKernan, the most improved player. King spins out, loses the footy. Stevens comes in to help him. Broderick hits the deck. Congestion the order of the day. Knights, real underground hand pass, opens up the whole situation, gets a good bounce. Well played, Matthew Knights. On to Campbell, over the top, Rogers. Awkward kick. Is that in the back to Nash? Schwass reads it best. Laidley trips over at the crucial moment. Mann has to get back quickly. Confronted. Smith out of the fence again, playing a great game today, Ross Smith. Kickers to centre wing. Blakey, the former Fitzroy player, reads it best. Maxfield's got him. On his shoal, well down from the fence. A marking contest directly in front of goal. Longmire couldn't control it. Barnett pressured by Bauer, who takes the ball out of bounds. And that passage of play, I think, typifying this game, Bernie. Pressure from both defences. It's pretty hard to score still.
Great support there also for John Blakey when he was about to be tackled by Craig Scholl down from the back line. Just gave the option there for him to get the hand pass over.
Stevens trying to get away. Ran into a dead end. And the ball up. Broderick. Young Capuano. Matthew Capuano from Geelong. The Geelong Falcons. 19 years of age. McKernan, meantime, punches it down. Longmire couldn't control it. Tate. Smothered there by Campbell. Kellaway wrenches it out with strength. Gets it across to Free. Free from half back towards the wing. Could have almost been a free kick to Rogers. Daffy behind. To the lumbering Dia, who boots it down well inside the 50. North Melbourne lead back in the race. Who's got the speed? Bladed by the Shepherd from Fairley. Smith picks up the ball, boots it back towards the wing. Ashenko waits and takes the mark. Alex Ashenko led at Brisbane, the Eagles, and now at North. Gives it off to Schwass, who chips it in short. Barnett's got it alongside the centre circle. Young left footer, boots it down towards half forward. McKernan was in front, waiting behind there is Longmire. Well, so often these sorts of kicks, two-dimensional. The line was for McKernan, but the depth too long for him, and waiting behind, Longmire came up and read it best.
Yes, North Melbourne at the moment with a better forward line. Johnny Longmire providing a target, also McKernan. Campbell's been excellent in this second quarter with those 3 goals of his. And Richmond, on the other hand, they just cannot capitalise when they get the ball in the forward line.
John Longmire, 29 goals for the season, counting his one today. This swings a long way left to right, but it's good. And that's the difference between the two sides. North putting it on the scoreboard at the moment. They lead 5-2 to 2-9.
It's a 5-goal second quarter by North Melbourne. And here's the play with Barnett getting the free kick and just drifting over the head there of both McKernan and Brendan Gale. And Longmire now approaching 400 goals in his career. Has now kicked 388 career goals. Anthony Rock back on for North Melbourne. Capuano off.
388 career goals to John Longmire. So the horse giving them a bit of a break in the second term. Free, confronted by German. Mark taken by King at half back from Port Melbourne, and they breed them tough down there. Marking contest. Turner tried to take it from behind, nearly succeeded. Allison, Barnett applies the Shepherd. Back to German, right on 50. German goes goalward. That'll be close. He's missed to the far side, and one behind. Kicked by Peter German, his first score of the day. Of course, they have moved the goalpost here at the MCG after that State of Origin Rugby League clash. Maybe somebody should tell the Tigers. This score is 2-9, North Melbourne 5-3. Gale and Mann, who's been terrific. So is Smith, who's the North defence well on top, restricting Richmond to 2 goals. Knights finally flips it out, and Richmond go forward again. Kick coming from Bond. It's out of bounds now. With Murphy, Smith and Scholl doing battle. Right on 50. Left half forward flank for Richmond. Just over 1 minute left in the half. A goal here would be very handy for Richmond, who led at quarter time 4 behinds to 1 behind.
Stevens off from North Melbourne. Crocker back on.
Rock, who had a short stint on the bench, kicks to Barnett. Barnett marks in front of Maxfield. So the clock ticking down. Maybe it's going to be North Melbourne to score again.
Barnett goes towards half forward. McKernan put the one hand up, goes back after the ball, punches it onto his own advantage, but with the dash and getting back is Gale. Left the ball behind. McKernan knocks it forward, going in solidly. Longmire has gone through for a behind. Not sure anyone socketed that. I think it was knocked on. So we're down to 48 seconds. Well, 50 showing on the clock there. 5-4, plays 2-9. And Campbell to bring it in. Time for one more goal. Campbell straight down the middle. Ashenko favoured by the kick. Gale comes in now and beats him. And the umpire aided Gale a little bit. Got in the road of Ashenko on his approach to the ball. Gale's chip pass finds Dia. Dia plays on, kicks down towards half-foot. Good kick too. Maxfield gets behind Schwass and takes the mark. Not Schwass's man. He was on Bond. But Maxfield deep in the forward line, unattended. There's Murphy back in the square. Here's Maxfield. And we're down to 18 seconds now. Neil gives a lead. Maxfield, normally a pretty good kick.
You need to be from there, Dennis.
Let's see what he can do. He'll kick from just about the 50. The Tigers needing a goal here. Maxfield sends it on its way. Hasn't got the carry. Yes, it has. Right on the siren. A touch of theatre about that one. Well, they are to a point. Half-time at the MCG. Interesting game. North Melbourne in front, 5-4 to 3-9. Third quarter at the MCG. Goalless first term, and then 8 goals in the second quarter. Ashenko and Dia. And Dia coming from directly behind the umpire. This will be interesting. Whoops, got past him and then fell over. Taken by Stevens. Scrambles it out wide. Blakey concedes some ground. Knocked on by Rogers cleverly. This is taped down towards left half forward. Floats it inside the 50. Here comes Murphy again.
He's been good, Justin Murphy.
He's done very well. Very well.
Up against a very experienced player in Ross Smith.
But so far hasn't finished his work. This is Maxfield. It's right on the 50.
Who can kick goals from that distance? We noticed just before half-time.
Depending on the direction of the wind here at the MCG, just which way it's swirling.
Yeah, not an easy kick from here. I think wants to pass it, but there's nothing on. So he goes for distance. Right to the square. Hasn't got the carry. Not quite. Fairley gets back and forces it behind.
So first score of the third quarter. A rush behind. Ross Smith to kick in. A newsworthy fact. The sun has come out. Haven't seen too much of that in the last few days down here. King. Oh, nearly kicked the head of
come on, that's kicking in danger. Come on, common sense must come into it at times. That was just ridiculous. Player putting his body on the line there deserved the free kick. It was Chris Nash.
Lucky he missed. So a bounce. Man in front. McCarthy along the boundary line. Over the boundary line. Free kick for out on the full. So indicated for boundary umpire. The free kick to take place next to the interchange gates.
And a touch to dipper down there. The first one he's had for a long time.
Was it effective?
No, ineffective. No. Ordinary disposal.
Gale. Kicks well inside 50 for the Tigers. Marking contest untaken. Lately nearly throws it out in front of him. Campbell. A little give onto Nation, the forward pocket. The centering kick. Murphy the target. Smith did well. Lately gives him good back. Fairley gives him good backup support. And Ross Smith playing a terrific game. Long clearing kick to the centre wing. Gutsy mark taken by Daffy, who is confronted. Barnett stands the mark. Man and Howard. Howard flips it behind, tries to find Murphy. Flips a little bit too wide for him, and it's out of bounds right on the 50-metre mark.
Justin Murphy hasn't kicked a goal, but has really given Smith the runaround down there. Plenty of opportunities. As we said, just unable to get that goal. It's proved elusive. Thrown in. The ground goes Broderick. No free kick. Howard wrestled down as well. And the ball up. Broderick, 4 kicks, 7 hand passes.
Blakey's opponent this afternoon, both ex-Fitzroy players.
There's the bounce right on the 50. Howard goes up. Man beats him to it. Taken away by Maxfield. Charged down by Schwass. Maxfield goes again towards the kickoff line. Good effort from there. Murphy goes back with courage. Dives on the ball. Now he's got some problems. It slides out towards his knees. It would have been a tough decision had it been holding the ball. he wasn't controlling it. And a bounce alongside the behind post. Man again, opposed to Howard. Man prepared to concede a behind. Peter Mann, his dad Ken played 13 games for St Kilda back in the mid-60s. Here's Ross Smith. He's been given a workout this afternoon. Unusual to see somebody give him the runaround. Goes towards the outer side, very high kick. The Tigers have got the numbers out there. Missed by Bond behind. That could be an important miss. Allison camped over the ball, tried to keep it going. Flicked back by Adair, who sockers off the ground eventually. I think the Tigers would be happy with that, because just for a moment they lost their composure.
Maybe the ground slipperier than we thought, or moulded soles coming into the play. Deer, who's had 8 kicks, battled with Ashenko, Rock and Broderick. Still the ball tied up there on centre wing on the outer side. It's going to be a bounce. Another stalemate. Tipper down there says the ground is quite moist, so they've obviously put a bit of water on it. I don't think we've had that much rain. A few showers have been the order of the day, or days, in the past week or so. Deer and Ashenko again. Knights, if he can keep it in, he can. Can he control it? Flips it over the top. Rogers. Campbell. Oh, yes, good mark to Murphy. Just inside the boundary. Boundary umpire gives him the nod. He's okay.
5 marks now to Justin Murphy, coming in for kick number 8. Had a couple of opportunities in the second quarter to convert, but missed.
Kicked
one
3
from about
behinds.
15 metres out on a bit of a tight angle, but one that you would have expected him to get.
Johnny Howard made a lead. Howard starting in defence, moved to attack in the second quarter. Distance not a problem. The angle, what's he done with that? That looks pretty good. One behind only. So 4 behinds to Justin Murphy. It must have been very close, judging by the crowd reaction. 3-12 to 5-4. The wash-up of that is 4 points the difference. Laidley gives it back to Smith. King makes a lead to the outer side. He comes to the members stand flag. Laidley doesn't let him down. Plays on, gets caught, throws the ball away. Crowd looking for a free kick. Campbell will run into goal and makes them pay the ultimate price. Great kick, great goal. Campbell gets his first. He's kicked 1-2. 4-12 to 5-4. Richmond by 2 points.
Well, I just don't know what Dean Laidley was thinking of the way he strolled out of defence there. Here he is taking an excellent mark. Just no dash about him whatsoever. A good tackle there by Chris Naish. Cleverly fed out by Matthew Knights, and finishing it off and putting the Tigers in front is Wayne Campbell. Great contest here this afternoon at the MCG.
Tigers by 2 points, and their fans are roaring. Rogers surrounded. Still he goes, Rogers. Well, that was very ambitious, but he got a kick. The pitch is just in front of Murphy. Naish knocks it out wide. Howard's over the ball, tries to slap it back. Taken away by Smith, though. He boots it back towards midfield. Awkward bounce for McKern, and Allison was dragged down. Held without it, says the umpire. When they've got goals this afternoon, Allison's been important. He's forward at the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Crocker. He flew. So did about half a dozen others behind Campbell. Open goal. He gets his 4th. Story of the afternoon, really. Richmond attacking for so long, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, North Melbourne manufacture a goal.
Yeah, well, with goals hard to come by, 4 goals in these conditions, very swirly conditions at the MCG. Very important contribution from Campbell, playing in the North Melbourne forward line, and then also his form very important, because McAdam, of course, has gone off with his form this year, and Edwards back on as full forward for Richmond.
13 career goals to Warren Campbell, and 4 of those have come without blemish this afternoon, and that was another good one. It's certainly given them a focal point up forward with Roberts out injured. Schwass giving chase, the former Morris medalist, trying to keep it to the boundary line. Scholl gives him backup support, as does Laidley, who wobbles the punt kick towards the centre wing position. Gale from behind, Tape. Little chip pass where he finds Bond right on the boundary line. Bond at right centre wing for Richmond. Kick is to half forward. Howard tried to knock it over the back. Scholl was there, tackled by Campbell. Knights almost pinned. A little give out the ball. Oh, got taken with hip and shoulder by Schwartz. It was too high, says the umpire. He'll take the free kick.
Played a very good game this afternoon, Chris Bond.
He has.
His stats aren't fantastic. Kick number 7 coming up. And 4 hand passes, but some of his tackling and harassing has been magnificent.
His first tackle of the day, I think, was a real gem. It wasn't a free kick. Scholl. Free and Broderick, they collide. Broderick's taken the mark. No damage done, I hope.
Courageous mark, wasn't it, Paul Broderick?
Well, they both had to go for it. So Paul Broderick, former Fitzroy star, stats this afternoon 4 and 7, so he's been fairly busy, particularly in the first quarter. The angle, the telling factor here, runs out to open it up. Low trajectory left foot. Edwards has got the mark. Just come back onto the ground. Did play fairly well in the first quarter. I think you made mention, Bernie, you were a little surprised he was taken off.
Yeah, I just thought it was a little bit harsh early in the game with goals so hard to come by. There he is using his body well and fairly, and with a player 195 centimetres, used his height to advantage.
Edwards goes at goal and gets his 20th AFL goal. All clear. 1-1 to Stuart Edwards, and the Tigers come back again. The game moves up a gear or two in the third quarter. It's 5-12 to 6-4. Again, the Tigers by 2 points.
Yes, well, the Tigers certainly giving it their all this afternoon as we have a look at this mark in replay. Just body on body there. Edwards using his height to advantage, as I said, just getting the upper hand there on Ian Fairley, taking that strong grab and kicking the goal from only 15 metres out.
So they're going goal for goal, and the lead has changed hands 3 times in the last 3 minutes. In stark contrast to the first term here, it was goalless. Free backs out of the pack. The hand pass not particularly effective. Broderick, Barnett got him. Bauer in trouble, slung, picked up by McKernan, smothered off the boot. It ricochets back to Free, who hasn't got the ball, surely. Well, the umpires have played only 16 frees this afternoon. Bauer's in trouble. Crocker dives at the ball. Tate leads back in the race. Socket off the ground by Campbell towards the boundary. Still he goes, Campbell. Escorts it across. Well, I suppose sometimes they give it to the game, umpires, but there's been a few they've missed this afternoon. Adrian McAdam waiting to come back on. Boundary throw in. Pashenko goes up in front, wins it down. Rock, who's been pretty quiet, close to the boundary line, kicks it very high, floats inside the 50 and bounces out of bounds about 45 metres from goal.
There's McAdam replacing Pashenko. So it'll be interesting to see who does the ruck work now for North Melbourne.
Hagan looking for legs. It seems McKernan's pushed up on the ball. Gale takes advantage of that. Kellaway pushed off it. Stevens couldn't control it.
Oh,
well, interesting. Tunnels it out and has been penalised. Campbell with the kick.
Looks like McKernan now picking up Greg Deere. So the centre-half forward position now, just the one we're wondering about.
Here's Tate. In fact, he takes the kick, goes in short. Kellaway had to wait. Rock made it hard for him. Now Kellaway was taken high, and we'll get the free kick at right half back. 11:35 till three-quarter time. Kellaway from the half-back line through the middle. High kick. Howard worked under the ball by Mann. Got a fist on it. Fisted back by Deere. Wider this time. Blakey got an unkind bounce. Mann the hurried kick. Only as far as Campbell. Campbell kicks towards the 50. They come from all directions. Smith goes up with Murphy. It falls free behind. Fairley's hand pass, not particularly effective. Oh, well done by Wadley.
Wadley, nice blind turn to get himself out of trouble. Good long kick up over the centre line. Allison, good use of the body, has played the mark and tried to get 50. Blakey past Deere. McAdam, as we said, just back onto the ground. Long kick and land in the square. Longmire and Turner. Mark, no, out of bounds. Very near.
Almost.
John Longmire, 2 goals this afternoon. The throw in right next to the behind post. Through very hazy sunlight. Crocker and Gale. Tate. But no one to give it to. And you'd have to ask the question, as North players do, deliberate out of bounds. Tough umpire would give that. The Tigers have gained about 5 metres. Gale and McAdam. Crocker from behind. Kick up towards half-back. Long kick by McKernan is too long. In fact, out of bounds on the full. Tony Free will take the free. Tony Free in the left-back pocket. Deal best and fairest winner at Punt Road. 99 and 93. Oh, Greg Deere. Nearly. Knights around Schwass. That's out of bounds on the full, is it? No.
Yes.
Yes.
Matthew Knight's stats pretty good this afternoon. He's been in everything. 9 kicks, 16 hand passes to Matthew Knights, playing as a midfielder.
Craig Scholl right on the boundary line, short of right centre wing. Turner punches from behind. A lot of congestion down there. An important ball. Tape slings his opponent to the ground. McCarthy grabs it. Tackled by Tape, ineffective. Bounce important here. Come away. Will he rush it behind? He will. So a rush behind to North Melbourne. 6-5, 41 to 5-12, 42. Richmond by a point. Under 10 minutes left in the third term.
Howard goes towards the outer side, knocked on by Deere into open space. Comes to King. King pumps it back in. Uncontested. Howard goes up and takes the mark. Kellaway slipped over, but Howard backed himself against the ball, took the mark, chips it out wide. Tony Free. 19 possessions for Free. Towards the wing with the kick. Gale, who's been good, takes a strong overhead mark. Gale plays on. That's ambitious. Puts around Man. Man drags him down to fix the kick. As a result, Lately had a chance to mark. Couldn't. Murphy deflects it across towards Maxfield. It runs towards full forward. Rogers gets an unkind bounce. It was well played by Scholl. Knocked it down to the advantage of Fairley. Fairley will head for the boundary line. And that's perfect. Bad luck for Rogers, though. Had the ball run on instead of sat up. He could have been onto it.
And there's Deere coming off. Greg Deere having a rest. He's done a pretty good job in the ruck. And with the Sheko on the bench, I suppose John Northey feels it's a chance to give a pair of fresh legs a bit of a run around. Prescott on for the Tigers.
Edwards gets a free. Interesting coaching duel this. How both coaches deploy their big men. Edwards outside the 50, sees Naish, he has to wait, and as a result, Man gets back, takes the mark, plays on to Laidley.
Laidley has been quite effective in the third quarter. Terrific intercept. And the snapshot is there. It's a goal. So Bond gets another one for the Tigers. That's his second.
Great intercept, wasn't it? And he's been an inspirational player, Bond. And it's been a pretty good quarter by the Tigers. And now out to a 7-point advantage. Here we see the hand pass Lately. A couple of mistakes in this term. This chipping in there and was Bond. And I suppose you can look at it afterwards, and hindsight is always the best side. But safety first, of course, in defence, and that didn't come from Lately.
Two great goals by Bond this afternoon. And the Tiger fans roar. Rock tackled by Free, confronted by Free, but North are going to come out of it. Stevens' kick is up towards centre half forward. Campbell, who's been brilliant in front of goals, gives it to another goal sneak in McAdam. He's bending that back. It won't come back far enough, though. The bounce important here. Oh, two Tigers collide. Knights back to Daffy. Under Kellaway, who was one of the culprits. Oh, there he is again. Bob. Terrific grab. Hitting a purple patch. The left half-back. Naish the target. On his chest in front of Peter German.
Tigers with their tails up at the moment, Pete.
They have. Inaccuracy early. They proved costly, though. McCurtain in front. Man behind. So is Campbell. Murphy applies a Shepherd. Oh, Campbell's got it. Man's got him. Back to Maxfield. One-on-one duel in the goal square. Umpire says play on, and they will. King will run it out of the danger zone. King kicks towards midfield. Daffy in front. McCarthy drops it. And the umpire will bounce it just wide of the centre circle. 7 minutes left in the quarter. Tiger fans roaring as Richmond putting plenty of pressure on North. 6-5, Richmond 6-12. So the difference is 7 points in favour of the Tigers.
Dean Laidley off the ground, paying the price for that errant hand pass. Allison gets it to Stevens. He sends it inside the 50. Campbell, almost the clever mark. Kellaway's got problems. In turn, down goes Prescott, and the umpire says he was held without it.
Too long by McAdam.
Prescott, deep in his own defensive area. High towards the wing. Gale in front, and his second attempt takes the mark. He's proving very important, Gale. Goes down towards the wing. McCarthy goes back and takes a very courageous mark.
Pretty late on the scene here is Johnny Howard. I think the umpire maybe, well, I don't know whether it's worth a report, but he is having a look at Johnny Howard's number, and he is going into the book for that.
Well, that'll be an interesting one.
It will be. It will be. And Peter Mann remonstrated with Johnny Howard. He got there late, there's no doubt about that, and a 50-metre penalty has been awarded to McCarthy. I suppose the important issue is whether Howard had his eyes on the ball when he got there or not.
So, John Howard on report, and McCarthy wondering where the mark is now.
Should be just inside the 50 metres, yes.
So Adam McCarthy, a chance to score. Tiger faithful not too happy.
Greg Deere coming back on for the Tigers.
The margin 7 points at the moment. The Tigers lead. They've been terrific this afternoon.
Daffy coming off.
So McCarthy, big Roy Stevens slipped over. McCarthy's kick looks very good. Marvellous kick. Very important 50 then. Adam McCarthy scores from long range, and the margin back to a point.
Yeah, there's a player that infringed. Johnny Howard, who's gone into the book for that incident. Now playing at centre-half forward, being picked up by Peter Mann. And Brendan Gale playing at centre-half back now for the Tigers, or on the back line. But that was a very, very important 50-metre penalty, one that could be very costly.
So the Tigers lead cut to a point. That's too high on Tony Free. He'll take the free kick at midfield. McCarthyism was the cry. Free from the circle. Good mark. It's the man in question.
Well, he needs to make amends, doesn't he, Johnny Howard?
Distance just on 50. Draws it back, but not enough, and one behind. Hit the post.
You're a good judge, Pete. No trouble at all.
The goals have been moved.
Such confidence in flight.
6-13 to 7-5. Howard's first score of the day. Ross Smith has had a very keen duel with Justin Murphy. Kicks into the hazy sunlight on the outer side. Tigers in attack again. Free once more. Pumps it back into the goal square. And that's off target as well for another behind. They get a room to put all these down. 6-14 to 7-5. Was that 20 effective scoring shots to 12, and they lead by 3 points. Francis Burke and John Northey. Coach's box as again Smith prepares to kick in, getting a nice old workout kicking wise today. Shinko saw it dropping short, did well. Tries for German, confronted. McAdam from tape. Ishenko again, attempted smother by Maxfield, partially successful. Ball slews off the side of the boot. Campbell going hard with Crocker. Did he keep it in? No, says the boundary umpire. It's out of bounds, 70 metres out from North Melbourne's goal.
Almost very good work there by Darren Crocker. Great attempt to keep it in play.
Came back well last week, Crocker. Hasn't really been in the thick of things today. A ruck infringement.
Play on.
Got it. The advantage is paid. They all stopped. His kick up towards Rogers. Good mark. No, not paid.
No.
Pressuring by Scholl. He nearly held it long enough. Scholl from the outer side. Follows up better. Long probing kick. Longmire and Turner. They both misjudged it. Turner on the second attempt will take it. Good long kick by the Richmond fullback. Kicks to the edge of the square. Murphy goes with Smith. German farms it out. Man, oh, beautiful smother by Maxfield. Can he follow it up with a goal? Be play of the day if he can. He bangs it back. Great kick, but only one behind.
Gee,
Bad luck.
Terrific effort, great play, 6:15 to 7-5.
Very casual by Peter German. Gave the hand pass right enough, but then didn't bother to shepherd. Watch this again. The man chasing German just peels off. Well, it's a bit late.
Yeah, Peter Mann just taking a little bit easy a couple of occasions across half-back North Melbourne. A bit casual this afternoon.
6:15 plays 7-5. The Tigers led it by 4 points. Ross Smith again. Knocked up, kicking in. Virtually straight down the middle this time. Ashenko's the target. Worked under the ball. McKernan was up. Falls to Stevens, who boots it down towards half forward. And a clever mark is taken by Bauer. Not the worst Tiger this afternoon. Comes out wide. Campbell calls out his teammate. Takes the mark on his chest. Tate runs on, but Campbell decides to hold it up. Kicks in towards centre half forward now. Howard's the target. Big pack at the fall of the ball. It runs free behind. Smith palms off Murphy. Kicks it back towards the half forward line. Battle of defences. Bauer's up. Loose ball wide of the pack. Allison should have the pace. Allison can go inside to Longmire. Very unkind bounce for him. Turner likewise. Here comes Bauer again. He heads for the boundary line and runs it across.
Good defence there by the Tigers. Allison had the pace, but also Bauer. He was a very pacey player also getting into that contest. Making it very tough for North Melbourne. They haven't had anything easy here this afternoon at the MCG.
Boundary throw in. McKernan hooks it down behind. McAdam out of the congestion. Good mark by Bond.
Been an enthralling duel, that one. Bond on top of Schwass coming in for kick number 10. Schwass has been very important. That great hand pass to Campbell, setting up a goal earlier in the game also.
Of course, Bond has kicked 2 great goals on North Melbourne players by for the mark. Free at the form of it. Kicks the Tigers clear. Scholl and Rogers. Scholl sees the boundary line. Collects free as he goes over it. It is out of bounds. Centre wing out of side. 2:40 left in the third term. And really from the first quarter, which was goalless, it has been a battle of the defences all day. Ashenko and Dia. Dia wins it, not decisively, certainly. The umpire will ball this up. It's a rugby scrum in there almost.
A couple of players appealing for free kicks.
They're pretty hard to get this afternoon.
Worrying more about the umpiring than worrying about getting in there and getting the ball.
Richmond have had better of them, 16 to North Melbourne 7.
Much the better.
7, that's remarkable, really, isn't it?
Could win them today. Maybe they could have got one there. Broderick charges into Rock. That's holding the ball.
Yes, he had an opportunity.
Amazing the influence we have, isn't it?
He took on a couple of players there, Broderick, and then no attempt in the end.
So Anthony Rock from right centre wing. Glad you pointed that out, Dennis. McKernan and Gale. That'll be a boundary throw in. McKernan looking for the free kick.
He started the game pretty well, McKernan, but has certainly drifted out of it.
He can test this boundary throw in. Too much height there. Taps it to Allison. Oh, lovely blind turn from Allison. Onto the left foot quickly.
Great
too
gather.
wide for Schwass.
Great gather, wasn't it, Pete, by Brett Allison?
Terrific effort.
Spinning out of that pack. He's been good this afternoon. 9 kicks and 3 marks, 4 hand passes to Brett Allison.
Still in North Melbourne's attacking zone. Forward pocket left. Good tackle again by number 33. But it's a Richmond ball. Well, just good tackle by, that was McCartney. As the ball is kicked up towards half-back. Taken over the boundary line by Campbell. The Tigers working it around the boundary line, 60 metres still from North's goal.
6:15 to 7-5. Margin 4 points. Dia in front. Wins it. Gains about 15 metres. McAdam. Quick hands away to German. Well done by Maxfield. Got him. Prescott. Hurried kick down towards centre half forward. Storming up to meet the ball was King. Couldn't control it. Howard tackled by King and slung. Maxfield runs onto the ball just inside the 50. Can go. Sees Naish. Naish 20 metres out.
Great play by Maxfield. And did you notice, Dennis, he didn't go back with his back to the play. Something that we see a lot of players do these days when they're about 45, 50 metres. He had a quick look and saw Naish was clear. And Maxfield's been very good in this third quarter for the Tigers.
I think he heard he was clear because the crowd roared.
Naish gets his second. Richmond increased their lead.
2 goals, 1 to Chris Naish. 7:15 to 7-5. The difference out to 10 points.
Yeah, well, it's been a very, very desperate quarter by the Tigers. They've shown a lot. You see Johnny Howard playing at centre-half forward now, getting a hurried kick. Maxfield quickly looking. You heard the roar of the crowd as Peter Landy said, getting it quickly to Naish. And Chris Naish kicked his second goal for the afternoon.
2 goals, 1 to Chris Naish. The difference out to 10 points. Under 1 minute left in the third quarter. The North get another one before the siren. Schwass gets it down towards left forward pocket. Longmire sees the ball just a little bit too elusive for him. It's out of bounds. 3 metres from the behind post, but the Roos with a real chance of getting it to within a kick.
Johnny Longmire very quiet, Peter. 2 marks, 3 kicks. He's kicked 2 goals in the second quarter, but apart from that, has been very quiet.
It's the 2 goals, the telling stat there, certainly. Gale tries to get front position from McKernan. Tape goes after it. He gets bundled over the boundary line. Rock's got it, gives it back to the boundary umpire. So still in the forward pocket, half a minute to go to three-quarter time. Richmond got a goal right on the half-time siren when Maxfield goaled from right on 50. And the Roos get one here. Rock does a Gary Ablett. Then Longmire takes the mark in front of Turner. This will be the last kick of the third term. And the horse being brought right around. But
doing a bit of umpiring there is Scotty Turner telling the umpire, hey, this is not the right angle. And of course, Longmire trying to sneak out a bit. Now, what will he do? Very tight angle. May go for the banana kick. Yes, he is, and has missed.
So, a vital kick out of bounds. Well, I thought it might have just scraped in from behind, but the boundary umpire in this position, certainly from that camera angle we had, it looked as though it may have been a minor score. Came away to bring the ball back. 9 seconds left in the quarter. And North must get a mark here if they're to get a goal. Gale, Ashenko's got it. Now he has it. Quick kickers by Barnett. He kicks it back towards full forward. There's the three-quarter time siren. Knights has it. And so at three-quarter time, Richmond lead 7-15, 57 to the Roos, 7-5, 47 at the MCG.
So the start of the final term of the MCG, and the Tigers with a chance to beat Collingwood and North Melbourne in the 1 week. They lead by 10 points now. They had a goalless opening term. It was 7 points at half-time North Melbourne's way. Stirring term from the Tigers, that third one, to put them in front as Bond sends them inside the 50. Fairly, little nudge, goes back, takes a timely defensive mark. Comes across the ground, that's Chansey. Oh, Ashenko outnumbered 2-1. Luckily took the mark. Or more particularly, skillfully. Gave it to Mann. High kick towards the wing. It's knocked on by McCarthy. McKernan, unkind bounce. He's been challenged by the coach. Down went Gale. And Bauer runs it across the line.
There's rubbish flying everywhere with that wind.
Yeah, we're being rained upon at the moment. Plastic bags everywhere.
Thought for a moment you're looking at me. Thrown in. Chance for Blakey. Lost the ball. Ashenko on the ground. Ferrets it out somehow. This is McCarthy forward of the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Prescott is going back and takes a very good mark.
Courageous mark. McAdam really didn't fly for that one.
Prescott out of defence through the middle. Man from behind, fisting away, taken by Maxfield, who's been handy. Kicks inside the 50. Here comes Smith. Had his hands full this afternoon. Kicks it out wide. Now an opportunity. Barnett, meters in the clear, gathers the ball, looks down towards half forward, kicks towards the 50. Longmire comes, knocked away by Turner, taken by McAdam. McAdam pulls it back across his body. Campbell, the flyer in front, knocked wide of the pack. In goes Bond, tries to knock it out to support. Kellaway on his knees. Bauer's hand pass effective, and Dia lopes away.
Dia from left half back, doesn't lope very far. Kick only travels 10 metres to Ashenko. Oh. And the big fellow did well, but sold McAdam into trouble. A little flip up.
Great smother.
Still Bond. Richmond. Bond again, who puts his body on the line. Oh, Krul holding the ball. That's tough.
That's very tough decision. But he's been fantastic this afternoon, Chris Bond.
He was the man that went to get the ball.
Yeah, great smother off the boot by Bond.
Crocker's kick. Gale did well. And Turner content to rush it across the line for a rush point to North Melbourne. First score of the final quarter coming up to the Roos. They trailed by 9 points at the MCG. 18 minutes left in the match. 7-15 to 7-6. One of those behinds coming in the third quarter. Richmond had a lot of the play, but scoring today difficult with this a gale force wind, but it swirls a lot here. It's a good kick under the circumstances. Crocker sets himself, so does Zashenko, who's been busy in the final term to date. Big Alex from midfield puts the Roos deep into attack. Turner should spoil, he does. Deer fumbles. Going to get away with it, the Tigers, or are they? A one-on-one duel on the members stand flank. Bond once more from Schwass, who pushes him over the line, and the ball, it's out of bounds, 60 metres from goal. Chris Bond kicked 2 good goals today, one at each end of the ground, and has put his body on the line right throughout the match. Good duel between he and Schwass. Zashenko and Deer flipped on by Campbell to Crocker. A kick across his body. Barr and Allison. It's a foot race. Allison gets there first, overruns it. Bauer's got it. He needs to steady. Long looping hand pass.
He can go.
Free. He can go a bit further. Kicks right on 50. Marking contest in the goal square. And just touched by Ian Fairley.
Free kick, Pete. Free kick interference by Edwards on Fairley.
Fairley. Short, Barnett. Free kicks hard to come by this afternoon. Only the 10th for North, that last one. This is Scholl on the other side. Centres it. Needs to be precise, and it was. This is Mann. It's in a half back. Peter Mann. Played pretty well. Having said that, of course, into the man on the mark. It bounces towards midfield. Oh, they came at it pretty solidly, and dashing through is Prescott. He started this term very well. Fairley goes back. And it runs away and out of bounds. 3 posters this afternoon for Richmond.
Tony Free taking a fair while to get back on his feet, but he's okay, the Richmond skipper.
The Tigers have been the better side, but North Melbourne still with a chance here. Right to the boundary throw in. Fairley very conscious of Edwards. Pops in front. Smith towards half back. Loose ball. Knights goes back in front. McCarthy closing. Played it pretty well. Took his left side away from him. Back comes Free. Trapping the ball, Stevens. Over the ball, Campbell slaps it out. Knights again. Nicely done. Knights pulls it back inside the 50. And Knights.
Oh, he cut the heavy one lately. Now, if the other one was worth 50, I think that one's worth 50 also.
How can it not be 50?
Well, a little bit of consistency. Let's have a look at it. There he takes the mark. In comes Lately. Same thing. Same thing exactly as John Howard.
Lately 2 steps late there.
About the same as John Howard early in the game. I think that's what the crowd's calling out for, a bit of consistency in the umpiring decisions.
Naish has booted 2. Low-scoring affair. If he gets this, North will be hard-pressed to win. Naish goes goalward. Gets it. Oh, big goal, that one. So the stage is set now. North will need to fight.
He certainly will, Dennis. 15 points now. The advantage to Richmond. And there's Chris Naish, the player who took that mark from very clever play from Matthew Knights. And pretty late there is Lately. He may have made it look a little bit worse, Chris Naish. But that is an excellent kick in this position. 45 metres out, right through the middle.
McCarthy out of the middle, 3 goals to Chris Naish. The Tigers got their tails up now. Tapes kick. Campbell and Stevens. It's Campbell first there. More than content to see the ball over. 15 minutes left in this match. And the Roos with the job ahead of them if they're to pull it out of the fire. Boundary throw in. Deer at the back of Zashenko, who won it. Barnett went down. The umpire says it's going to be a bounce. Well, you have to admire the endeavour of Richmond. They did well against Essendon for 3 1/3 quarters. Last week they took Collingwood apart, and today they're carrying on that good form. Though let's not forget that North had down on manpower. Some of their stars out, but you go to into a match with your best team. This afternoon, Richmond, so far, has been just a little bit better than the Roos. This guy's played well, hasn't he?
Oh, excellent play by Bond.
So he goes, 3 bounces. The run of the day. Will he have another one? No, he's caught.
Slipped over.
King's got him. Oh, that was nearly a throw too. Knights across his body, little left footer, just lands it inside the boundary line.
Gee, that was unfortunate, wasn't it, for Chris Bond. Had a couple of bounces and then just slipped at the critical stage.
He made the play. He opened it right up. So the Roos desperate to try and get a goal on the board. Man goes at it. Free. Scholl tackle. Stevens in front. Blakey from midfield. The former Fitzroy star down towards full forward again. Oh, Gale missed what he should have taken. McKernan to Allison might make them pay. He does. That's a goal. So Brett Anderson gets his first, and North Melbourne come a little closer. 8-15 to 8-6.
There's crucial miss there by Brendan Gale, something that you very rarely see from him. He's usually very sure overhead. And, well, that's cost Richmond dearly, that drop mark. Brett Ellison, the player there, just chipping in and kicking that goal for North and keeping them in touch.
Back to 9 points then, still plenty of time. Dia alongside the umpire, generally goes to the umpire's left now. Watch that, circles around him and wins it down again. And the umpire had words to him about that. I think the umpire unsettled by that. Here's Tate out on the other side, gives it to Campbell. Campbell floats one very high down towards half forward. Rogers will need to go. Eyes only for the ball. That's a very good mark. Matthew Rogers, fine recruit, centres the ball. King stands tall in defence. Cold day in Melbourne. Tough game of football. Blakey on his knees. Fine duel, that one. I think Broderick has taken the points. Blakey towards midfield is Schenko. Well, misses that. Should have marked it. Taken by Dia behind. Triple premiership player with the Hawks, and now Naish finds himself in open space from 55 metres out towards full forward. Fairly like a soccer goalie going up to protect the top left-hand corner of the net. Fingertips to it and deflected it through. Valiant attempt and certainly a timely one.
There's some Peter German back on for North Melbourne. Darren Crocker off. And let's have a look at Fairley again. This desperate attempt by him, and fortunate that he got a fingertip to it.
Smith to kick in once again. The difference is 10 points, which is what it was at three-quarter time. Getting very dark here at the G. Ishenko and Dia. Dia wins it, slaps it out wide. Good tackle by Scholl. German, a quick kick. McKernan from a standing start, kicks inside 50. Almost a mark to turn to the man in front, not Page. Schwartz tried to go off the ground. Is that in danger? Surely. His head's still on.
Could have been kicking in danger or in the back when he was on the ground. They dived onto him from all angles. And the player getting up on the bottom of the pack there again, Chris Bond. He's been terrific this afternoon for Richmond. Here we see this again. Bond putting his body in. There's a kicking in danger, and there he is over the top. Could have been 2 free kicks paid.
Gale wins it. Barnett will get there first for North Melbourne. Free's got him. German gives him backup support. Still he goes, but it's out of bounds. And the throw in 60 metres from goal on the outer side. Under 12 minutes left in the match. Still 10 points the difference. 8-6 North Melbourne. Richmond 8-16. Dia doing well. Tate. Free. Playing a terrific game, Tony Free. Kickers right on 50. King in front. Scholl.
One hand.
Howard goes to ground with the football.
Gee, I think German might have been a bit lucky, Peter.
Yeah, throw, Bernie.
I thought it was a one-handed hand pass, which of course is a throw. Let's have a look at it again. There he comes through Johnny Howard, tackled well by Peter Mann and King. And brought to the ground. Terrific tackle by both sides.
Looking for a free kick. Free gets him there in the back. Knights has got the free kick. 11 minutes left. Knights too far out to score. Kick and a half from goal. At the back, Smith. Murphy Tried to go for the underground shot. And just left to Craig Scholl to do the tidying up.
He kicks for space up towards the wing. Richmond have got the numbers, and Bond superbly done. Dashed at that one. Clean possession. Kicks inside the 50. Naish was up. Couldn't control it. Broderick has taken the ground. In comes Naish. Tackled by Mann. Rogers tries to spin out of the pack. He's claimed. Whistle and the ball up, and that says it all.
Wonderful dash at the ball there by Chris Bond. Terrific attack. He's played on Wayne Schwass all afternoon. Chris Bond 12 kicks and 5 hand passes. And Wayne Schwass 8 kicks and 5 hand passes, and that's well below his normal stats for Wayne Schwass.
Rock has to wait. Spills wide of the pack. Howard, hurried kick, touched. It wobbles down towards the pocket. Smith in front of Murphy. The defence has been good. Both defences good. This is Tate. Controls it close to the line. It stays in. Stevens going nowhere.
Well done. Well done, Richmond. They've certainly improved a lot this year. The Tigers, ordinary year last year, were sitting in 11th position at the moment, but this display this afternoon would give the supporters a lot of heart.
Going at their 5th win this afternoon. Last season they won only 4. John Northey has done a great job with this team. A lot of spirit today from the outset. If North get back, they'll be lucky. They're down by 10 points. Under 10 minutes to go. It's got very dark in the cricket ground. Rucks go at it. Howard gets it down. Free has been terrific. Hoisted high. Smith with great courage. Took an errant boot on the head. Taken by Maxfield. Pulls it down towards full forward. Bailey goes back again. He's been very good back there. He's had plenty of work.
Another rush behind. Was Melbourne won the last ticket contest between these two sides. The Tigers were last victorious back in 1989. Laidley. A 1-on-2 situation in favour of North. Knights beat a 1-on-3, you can make that. Nearly came up with the football. McKernan, a good hip and shoulder. The ball out of bounds. 9 minutes left in the match. Richmond desperate to hang on.
30 disposals this afternoon from Matthew Knight. He's been magnificent midfield.
Yashenko, Deer both miss it. Ball shuffled out. Bond again. Is ridden into the ground. Ball spills free. McCarthy tries to grab it. Schwass applies a tackle. Things becoming just a little bit heated.
They're just winning the one-on-ones at the present time, Richmond. I think that Dennis Pagan would be well advised to move Schwass off this side of the ground. Get Bond away.
Bond's job may to be to stay with Schwass all afternoon.
He's been terrific, hasn't he, Bond? Blakey. Good endeavour. Longmire nearly. He recovers well, the horse. Onto his left foot. No, right. Finally kick with the right. Excellent smother. McKernan with a shot. Allison in the pocket, or is it out of bounds on the full? Out of bounds on the full. The free kick will go to Prescott. In the left back pocket for Richmond.
Very important disposal there by Turner. It just really shows how Richmond's played all afternoon. Typical.
Oh, good mark to McCarthy. Showed best judgment there. 60 metres out from goal. Turner again tries to spoil Longmire. Ball hits the deck. Bond's got it. There's going to be a bounce.
Actually, Bond's everywhere, isn't he?
The goal. He's been excellent.
Everywhere.
12 and 5, 4 marks and 2 goals. And the goals have been of a very high calibre.
Both ends of the ground.
He's going to get your votes, isn't he? I can tell.
Gee, I like his game today. I like his game.
Well, the endeavour's been there. Let's see what Longmire can do. The former Coleman medalist. A left foot snap. Looks pretty good. He's got a goal. It's not over yet, boys. John Longmire gets his third. And the Roos coming in at the MCG. 9-6 to 8-17. 5 points the difference.
And Johnny Longmire has had a very quiet afternoon, but has got full value for his money. Only had the 5 kicks. 3 goals straight. And there is that very good left foot snap over his shoulder. And I tell you what, North Melbourne certainly not out of this. Murphy off for the Tigers.
5 points the difference at the MCG. Still plenty of time. Prescott has been handy towards half forward. Howard couldn't control it. Goes again. Claimed by Mann. Sweeping hand pass out wide. Maxfield's got the run of it. Tries to deflect it to Knights. This is Smith. Well played. Across his body towards the wing. Effectively stopped by Campbell. 70 metres from goal. Long inside the 50. Edwards was up. No mark taken. Fell forward to the pack. They're putting their bodies on the line. Rogers to Deer. Keeps it going goalward, crashing his way through his German. Unloads the hand pass to Smith. Back towards the winger. Schenko missed it. Runs free behind. McKernan somehow flicks it. Throw.
He's very good early, but he's gone right out of the game, Corey McKernan.
Broderick goes in short. Howard's got it. Plays on. 70 metres out. Down towards full forward. In front, Fairley. What a terrific mark. Terrific mark. Very, very gloomy at the present time. Stevens to man. Mark Taylor and the boys would be long off the ground if they were playing this afternoon. On the other side, Longmire.
Push against Longmire. Turner's free kick. Very important one, that.
Gee, they haven't played too many frees. And Turner's got one on the outer side. Very important.
Looked a reasonably good mark. Turner tried to slow it down. 6 minutes left, bit early for that. The fullback's kick marked by Scholl. You need a miner's lamp to see them. Probably doesn't come up that way on screen, but very dark at the G. Longmire again can't take it. Anderson can. Roves it well. Callaway and Campbell. Out of bounds. 50 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Under 5 minutes left in the match. 5 points the difference. North Melbourne 9-6, Richmond 8-17. 65 plays 60. Gale and McKernan. Stevens nearly had his head taken off, although he did duck.
He did duck into it. And he's got the free kick, but he did certainly duck when he saw that tackle coming.
Well, a goal here would put North Melbourne in front. He's gone short, looking for Allison. Couldn't take the mark. That'll be a free kick.
He's been inspirational too. Tony Free.
Excellent.
24 kicks to Tony Free.
He's led from the front, hasn't he, Tony Free? Scholl on centre wing. The North could still pinch this match. McKernan. Allison again.
There may have been a whistle there and a free kick to McKernan, I think, Peter.
There has been a whistle. It's against Gale.
He may have been pushed out of that contest.
Gale can't believe it. Of course, he dropped a crucial mark earlier in this quarter, which led North in for a goal. And now Brendan's given away a free kick, which may cost them another one.
A rash of free kicks after they wouldn't play any all day.
That's right. It's only their 12th for the match, but of course it's not how many you get, but where you get them, isn't it?
Yes, and this to put North Melbourne in front.
By a point. And one behind. So Tiger fans collectively breathe a sigh of relief. Two behinds kicked by Corey McKernan. And still, Richmond hang on, less than a kick in it.
A thriller of the MCG. Richmond, if they win this, still a chance for the finals. Turner kicks in. Not a good kick. Directly to Allison. Chance of the quick rebound. Men on in the middle. Oh, chopping it out was Broderick. He sensed the danger, got back into the hole, and stretched every sinew to take that mark.
Yeah, very important mark there, Paul Broderick. His stats pretty good this afternoon also at midfield.
Inside the last 5 minutes, Broderick through the middle. Big leap by Scholl, who's been terrific in defence. Stevens soccers off the ground. It eluded McCarthy. Deer somehow directed it down to Knights.
Too high on Knights. Must get the free kick.
Will get the free inside the centre square. 65 Richmond, 61 North Melbourne. And Knights indicating he's going to kick it high. Now he wants a lead. He goes down towards half forward. Here comes Neal. Up he goes, fisted away and out of bounds. Smith doing the fisting. Boundary throw in outside the 50. The right end of the ground for the Tigers. Big win last Monday. Might this be something if they can hang on from here?
Boundary throw in just outside 50 as Schenko and Deer. One by Deer, hits it straight to Rock. Free had him, ball spills free. Rock again, good smother by Free. Kicked off the ground by Blakey and out of bounds. Well, that's suiting Richmond. The clock stops though at 3:59 in Richmond's attacking zone, 65 metres from goal. They'll be content to keep it there. A goal would seal it for a very low-scoring affair here. Deer over the top, couldn't get a decisive tap. Broderick takes it, tackled by Stevens. Maxfield kicked a beautiful goal just before half-time. Centering kick, Gale this time.
I'll tell you what, they really deserve to win this game this afternoon, the Tigers.
Well, he can make amends, Bernie, can't he, because he dropped that crucial mark in defence earlier.
That's right. Well, Allison made him pay with that goal. But there he is. He's very strong overhead. Only his 5th mark this afternoon. Coming in for kick number 7, Brendan Gale.
Very good kick too. Maxfield weighed it up very, very well and kicked it to the advantage of the big man.
And this would be the most important kick, I would say, for the afternoon from this big fella, Brendan Gale.
85 career goals in 88 matches. So he's due for one. Keep the average right. He hasn't scored today. In the gloom. Kicks and goals. So Brendan Gale is that the match-winning kick for the Tigers. 9-17 to 9-7. The difference again 10 points, and that's what it was at three-quarter time.
Yeah, terrific effort by the Tigers. This has been a wonderful performance. They've teamed well. The midfielders, Broderick, Free, Knights. And as I've given Chris Bond a rap on the back all afternoon, he's been magnificent on Schwass. And Brendan Gale took the mark when he was needed.
10 points the difference, 3 minutes 10 seconds left in the match. If we can see them, it's very dark. Langley fumbles. Knights again, who's been brilliant. Kicks out of bounds though on the full. So free kick to North Melbourne will be taken the last line of defence by Ross Smith, who's been kept very busy down there this afternoon. Smith from back pocket right, kicks it almost up to the centre wing. Campbell flies, tries to punch. It's a mark to Ashenko, isn't it? No, not paid. So ball right on 50, snared by Naish. Good hand pass to the road. Campbell, 25 metres out, goes at goal, but misses. So North Melbourne needing 2 goals to steal the match.
1 goal, 2 to Wayne Campbell.
It would be a travesty of justice if the Tigers were to lose this. Kick comes up the middle, off hands, waiting behind Dia. Juggled it, kicks it, gained about 15 metres. McKernan went back with courage. He knocks it forward again as Ashenko keeps it going. Taken by Campbell, picked up by Knights. 33 possessions for Matthew Knights. Towards the outer side, Campbell, he's tired, he goes after it. Close to the boundary line, he picks it up. Stevens closing. Campbell gains about 25 metres, hugging the boundary line. Scholl again, resolute in defence, defiantly sends it back towards the wing. Howard back with courage. Opportunity for Prescott. In crashes Campbell. Ball jarred loose, picked up by Ashenko. Last hurrah time for North, taken by Longmire. Longmire 60 metres from goal. Needs a long kick, it's a centering kick. North lead in both directions to the ball. Schwass has taken the mark directly in front. We've got 1:40 remaining. Schwass has got to kick this one. 11 points the difference. Schwass from about 45 metres out hasn't got the carry. It has. Yes. The game is still alive. Goal to North. We go to the last minute.
Well, the Richmond defenders really needed to get back there in numbers to help out, because that goal certainly went through at touchable height there from Wayne Schwass. He's been pretty quiet this afternoon, had a resolute opponent in Chris Bond. Here's a kick from just inside the 50. And as we have a look at this one, sail through, maybe just a little bit too high, but a ruckman back there certainly would have helped things out.
A minute and a half left in this thriller at the MCG. Dio and Ashenko go at it. Stevens puts North into attack up towards their centre half forward position. Allison paddles the ball in front but loses it. And you would ask the question again, kicking in danger against Rock. The umpire says no. And Richmond able to tie it up this time.
There's Callaway. He certainly looks stressed at the moment, Duncan Callaway. But again, Chris Bond putting his body on the line again at the bottom of the pack. Time ticking away at the moment too. No time on, so this is valuable for Richmond.
Same ruckman go at it. Oh, bad bounce. It favours Campbell almost. And Richmond able to get it towards the boundary line. They'll be more than content to see it there.
Rock out on the full, out on the full it was against Rock. Came off his boot.
Good call, Bernie.
Very clever. Free with the free. Hug the boundary line, they say. Fairly sees Maxfield. Chance past. Just about the play of the day to Rogers. Commitment from the Tigers sees it to half forward. Smith charging out of defence. Brilliantly done by the North defender. Smith kicks to half forward. Last throw of the dice. Longmire. The call of Douglas. Turner's got him. Holding the ball.
Important tackle.
And away they go. Broderick.
He had to give it out, didn't he? Rogers in between. Lost it. German's got it. We're down to 10 seconds. German kicks to the outer side. I think the Tigers will hang on. They'll send it back in. Fittingly, Broderick gets a kick. The mark is held on the outer side by Miranda. There's the siren. What a big week for the Tigers. What a win.
Terrific game of football.
What's that?
They finished in the glue. And who needs a really high-scoring game when you get a match like that and really did have everything? Tackling, commitment, close scores, 72 to...
Another top win for the Tigers, 9-18-72. Their inaccuracy nearly cost them. North Melbourne, 10 goals, 7-67. So after beating Collingwood by 66, they beat North by 5 points. Naish kicked 3 goals and Bond kicked 2. And for North Melbourne, Campbell got 4 and Longmire 3. John Howard was reported by field umpire Caulfield for striking McCarthy with an arm to the head in the third quarter. The crowd at the MCG, 26,917. Well, if you like that game or any other games that we're showing during this year or for the last few years, you can get a copy on video through Name a Game, through Australian Football Video, for a catalogue of all the games, and there are finals, state games, home and away games, whatever. Ring the number 008 035 665 for the full catalogue of Name a Game.